Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can get tips and tools to help you do business better. As soon as I turn off these notifications, oh, we're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today we're here with the fabulous Coach Caren, all the way from Toronto, Canada.
Woo!
Woo!
Woo, woo.
Bringing us some serious education on how to handle our money as entrepreneurs. Now, I want you to get a pencil and a paper because she's going to be dropping some interesting and valuable information on how we think about our money and how it affects our income from our businesses and even in our personal life. So, if you have time, please share this out to a friend because we all need to know how to handle our money better. I want to, how you doing, Cecilia?
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. How you doing, Fran? Thank you so much for handling the class last night. I really appreciate it. Look, I wanted to know. Don't take her for granted. And we just want to say that we wish you well on your endeavors today, Fran. In addition to that, guys, we just want you to know we're going to get into this money thing right now because Coach Karen Fern's time is valuable. Okay. All right. With that, Coach, what you got for us today? What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about money and energy, and all this month we're continuing right through the end of the year. We're just going to be flooding you, talking a lot about money because there's just so many areas to cover. I
Uh-huh.
can take a full year speaking, and I still would have still more to talk about. So we're just taking this opportunity to lead you into 2021, just empowerment and abundance. That's what we really want to do. So we're talking about today money and energy. Caroline introduced me, but I'm going to talk a little more about myself before I get right into it. You know, I'm a business and personal coach. I help entrepreneurs, young business coaches themselves, and small business owners. And I love helping people in the beginner stages because I really help them to see who they are so that they can be really valuable in their businesses. And I think that's the core part that I love because I get to see them blossom into this wonderful person that they themselves were doubting that they could be. So that's where
Mhm.
I stand. That's what I love to do. And that's how I get to help people. This morning I woke up with such a wonderful testimonial from a coachee. It's always great when I get into my inbox and I see somebody send me a testimonial. You'll get it, but when you get it before you're expecting it, because we're still coaching, it just
Mhm.
makes you know that it's solidified. You know what you're doing, but it's nice when somebody else tell you, "Hey,
Right.
this is what I'm getting out of it. Here's where I've been when I met you, and here's where I'm at."
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
always wonderful. So I just wanted to share that a little bit with you guys this morning.
Well, Coach, before you go there, I want to say this to Cecilia. Coach Karen has a great program going on right now, and it is complimentary. You may want to get the details, so stay tuned because I think it'll be very helpful to you. Coach?
Okay. Thanks, Terry.
Mhm.
Thanks. So today, without any further ado, and hi Cecilia, thanks for joining us. For those who are gonna join us later and on the replay, thank you. Today we're talking about money and energy. It's such an important part. Sometimes people don't even realize it. Um, that the energy they bring to the table when they think about money, whether because they have it or because they don't have it, and it really sometimes change how they see things. So we're going to cover a few things today. We're going to talk about why does the two go hand in hand, and how we can train our mind to understand this, because it's really about training, and what to do to make this useful to you. You need to know how to make this useful to you. And I was reading my Bible yesterday. Is yesterday I was reading a section. I can't remember now exactly where we were talking about, how work is love. And there's a little. Well, I read the Bible, then I read some other stuff, that goes hand in hand with it. And somewhere along that line, the person was talking about how work is love, and so to not work is not to understand love, because most people sometimes try to get away from work and say, I can't believe I working so hard. I want to finish working so I could do X, Y, and Z, which is more work, but they don't realize that's what because throughout our lives, you're gonna work. I don't care if you retire or you're just in a job right now. You're gonna work to some capacity and some level. And when you're working with somebody you love, you're still working. So it's there's no need to try to get away from it. Actually, last week somebody said to me, I can't wait to retire because when I retire, I'm not going to do anything. And I said, if you sit down when you retire in the next 3 years, I am going to tell you right now, I'm going to feel very sorry for you. I'm not really going to feel sorry for you, but I'm sorry for what's going to happen because all of a sudden you're doing nothing and you're just sitting or lying. That's a recipe for disaster. Don't plan on doing nothing. Plan on finding something that you love to do and then do it, even if it's just volunteering. Like you don't have to do anything to be paid, but I said to the person, find something that you really love and then use it as a give back. Go find people to share that with because you don't want to live your life when you retire and just be grumpy and do nothing. I said it's not a good place to be. Anywho, getting off track. So let me get back on track with why does the two go hand in hand? If you don't have any money, and I'm going to start with that part, most of us know that kind of energy and what it feels like. At some point in your life, you know that energy. If you're rich and you lose a lot of money, you still go through that dip in energy knowing that there's a loss there, even if you don't say it out loud, but you feel it deep within you. You feel that dip in energy. And so some people, they take that energy and they go shopping, they eat more, they argue more, they're angry more, they are they're sad more. So different people exercise different energy levels when their money dip or if they lost the money or if they work and they didn't get paid. There's so many different things that happen and it works hand in hand because on the flip side, when you know money is coming, if you know that you have a chance to win the lottery, you're excited. Even if you don't win it, your energy goes up because there's a chance that you could if you bought a ticket. So your energy goes up. If you know somebody's going to give you money, your energy goes up. I remember being a kid, and we had this cousin Ronnie, and anytime we saw him, we knew we were going to get $20. Now, let me tell you, we never get $20 from our parents, right, when we were younger. So when he comes, he was a builder, so he made lots of money. But when he do come to town, we know it's because there's some big build happening, and he's just coming to check on his people. And he's going to give us $20 and he's going to say to us, don't tell your mom. And this was his thing. Don't make her spend it in the house. It's yours. Give it. And he would do this anytime he come to visit my great aunts. And the energy in the
Uh-huh.
house was crazy because we know when we see this man.
So there was
Yeah.
anticipation, and there was also probably planning, was there not?
Yes.
Oh, when Uncle Ronnie comes, I know I'm going to get some money, so this is what I'm going to spend it on.
Yes.
This is interesting because
I mean, my
we really still do that now, don't we?
we do. We do. We do. We do. Me and my cousins would be planning all we could do. And then as we get older, we'll say to him, Cousin Randy, $20 don't cut it anymore.
Say what?
And that's exactly what he said. What? I thought $20 was a lot of money.
Well, maybe I need to teach y'all what to do with the $20.
Right? Oh man. Anywho, he was a good sport about it. If you ask, you'll get. Again, if you ask, you will get because we asked. At least me and the two cousins, and we got more than the other cousins who did not ask.
Oh,
So there you go. That's
see,
another
you have not because you asked not.
not. And when I got older and I realized him being a builder, when I think about it, even now, builders make a lot of money.
And they have a lot of assets.
Yes, But when he comes, a lot of fun times. And the other thing about him, he would never dress up in anything. He never looked like a man that had money. You couldn't tell by watching him. Gray pants, black pants, and a brown pants. I never seen him in jeans. And he loves shirts button up and tucked into his pants. But beside that, simple as they come. That's the energy he carried. And when he comes, we're all excited. So think about it. When you know that money's coming to you, or you're working towards money, it's
Hmm.
a different level of energy.
Wow, I
Like,
didn't think about that.
yeah.
Cecilia has a comment here. Do you want to see it?
Yes.
Okay, she says, so true. Money gives me more energy for shopping. Laugh out loud.
It does. It does. It does. And I had a discussion the other day about something else. Here's the opposite side of it. When somebody said to me, like, if you have kids, right, and you tell them clean their room, one of the reasons they don't want to clean the rooms because they're not getting any incentive in their heads for cleaning the room. Now,
Mhm.
as an adult, we're getting incentive because the house is clean, everything is organized. We know what it does. They don't see that though. They're seeing it as it's not giving me what I want. That's why some parents give money according to the chores you do, because they understand the energy the child would bring to it. Now, it's not right or wrong because that's how you want to parent your kid, but that's why that happens. It's a lot of how this energy ebb and flow with a kid. Now, the thing is, you have to understand what kind of kid you have. Some kids, money motivate them. Some kids are motivated by the thing money can buy. And some kids are motivated in how they feel when they get the thing. So once you
Mhm.
understand all those steps about your kid, if you have more than one, then you know how to use it to your and their advantage. But I bet you some part of it has to do with money. And that kid grows into an adult who, if we don't take pause and literally have this conversation with them, they get themselves into trouble with money early. They end up in debt early because the pattern was forming, but we never noticed. We never
Right.
noticed what drive them, what they would do and what they wouldn't do. It's like an artist kid, a kid who's going to be an artist. They're more dedicated in the creative side, and the whole house can fall down, and it's not a bother to them because they're drawing or painting, and nothing's wrong with it. But you also have to watch that kid and see how stressed the kid get when something is not happening, and you'll know that that same stress will transfer into them earning a living, how they behave, and how they handle everything. Kids are fascinated and you learn so much with them. I gotta say, when I had my daycare, that's one of the beautiful things of just watching other people's children, because I have my own, but watching other people's children and how they behave and how they bring energy and whatever transpire. It was really fascinating. One of my biggest learning things. I'm glad I did that part in my life. Somebody asked me the other day if I regret doing some things we were talking about. I said no. Every section of my life brought me to where I am today. So I'm glad that I encountered it and I learned. I took the lessons for what they were and I learned along the way. That's what you want to do. So we're talking about, but energy and money goes hand in hand, and it really do. So how can we train our mind to understand this? Like, how do we train our mind to understand this? And this is
I,
just about
I just had an epiphany. I got to write this down. I want you to write this down. Financial daycare for adults. Write it down.
I mean, Terry just said it.
Write
I
it
better write.
down because I don't have a pen. I'm like, okay, let me go over here to my notable.
Oh my God, Terry.
I mean, it's a bitch chick thing. He just gives us gifts like that. But I heard financial daycare for adults.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm not going down the road. But
Yes.
yes, it has so many different areas that I could branch out into. But let's talk
Hmm.
about training your mind to understand this. This is so important because when you start documenting, remember we talk about data, somebody came on and they're talking about it, a new friend was talking about it, it really makes you understand certain things. So if you're looking at, if you're writing it down, you're keeping track of your feeling when you have money, how you feel, when you don't have money, how you feel, when you know money's coming, how you feel, when you start anticipating. And if you were to do graphs and watch how your behaviors, you can really anticipate how you grow and how you wouldn't grow because it will work off of that
Wow.
energy and feeling. And we don't even take stock of that, but that's what happened. There's people who have money in the stock market, and they understand their rhythm. So that's why they can withstand. They learn, they test it, they get there, and they're rolling with that flow. They understand how they move, how their energy work, what happened. And let's keep on the train of the daycare track. I had two brothers in our daycare, same mom, different dad. And one came from a rich dad, and one dad was, regular living guy making money wise, and as a stepdad. And the two kids, their energy was so different. The one who come from the richness, money was his drive. He uses that. He was only 6, but he understood he come from money, and his behavior transcend all of that. And so everybody on his train adapt to him being that way. Now he came to my daycare and I don't roll that way. So I let him know upfront. I let him know what's not going to happen. I let him know what I'm not going to tolerate. I let him know what's going to happen, what's going to go on. And from him being with me, he had really learned how to maneuver into a better kid. Matter of fact, if the school had a problem, they won't call his mom. They'll call me. Because the teacher finally said to me, she says, Caren, Miss Caren, when I call you, he calms down. I call his mom, he doesn't care. Call his dad, he doesn't care. But if she called me,
Interesting.
came right down. But
Huh.
that's because I set the stage. I told him what I'm not going to tolerate. I let him know his money doesn't mean anything to me. And I let him know he can't lead with that. But his parents was afraid to let him know that. His mom and his dad had given him
This is
permission.
interesting to me because it's not the kid's money. So why are we even talking about his money or his
But if a parent
influence?
in action without saying
Mm.
has allowed this to transpire,
Uh-huh.
then the kid register and knows what they can and can do for leverage. Adults say a lot of things to kids without telling them.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
why I would always ask my kids things. If I'm thinking about something and I'm seeing I'm losing them, I'll ask them, and I'll get answers that always surprise me, because the kid is not thinking about the way I'm thinking about it or seeing it happen.
Uh-huh.
And the kid had grown up realizing that the dad could buy people off. The dad can get to things that he sees money can make go away or happen. And then he get to this daycare with this lady who's saying, not on my watch. I don't care how much
Mhm.
money you got. You might have to leave this daycare because you can't behave this way. You can't treat other kids this way. And this is a 6-year-old I'm telling you about. Okay.
Mhm.
But this is because of what had happened
Mhm.
versus the older son, which was totally different in terms of energy and money. He was on the scale of, I want it, so here's the things I'll do for it. His brother, on the meanwhile, I have it, I don't have to do anything for it.
Oh, I see. I see now. Okay, so you had one kid who was motivated and the other one who was just lazy because he had it already. And the other one was a builder on what he already had.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, I get the
You
analogy
see
now.
how we do that ourselves.
Yeah, we do.
We do that ourselves. If
Mhm.
you have a job and and I told a sister of mine this once, and you're getting paid, you get lazy. You want to hear this, but you get lazy knowing that there's a paycheck. So let's say if you weren't in the driving seat, if you
Mhm.
weren't about building up that energy, if you're in a roller skate, right? You're skating, you're building up to go up that ramp, you're getting ready, you're getting ready. There's the
Mhm.
people who's gonna jump and the people who's gonna get ready for their whole life, but they're never gonna jump because they're gonna tell you how high it is and how they can do it.
Mm.
It's not because they can't do it. It's not because they can't jump. It's because they're comfortable on the flat surface. So I know I'm getting a paycheck. So I don't have to hustle up to make the business make sense. You know what I'm going to hustle up if I lost my job?
Mm.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
going to hustle up if I can't pay my rent?
So we're crisis oriented.
Because we're very reactive people.
Uh-huh.
We're very reactive. We react to things rather than
So I think today what I hear you saying is we're talking about money and emotions and the difference.
emotion, but it's the energy behind the emotions. I'm going to get to the emotions part, but it's that energy that happened. It's almost like, you know why it's energy? Because you ever do anything with electricity or put the two things together
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in class and see what happened when it's
where you get the little spark.
Yeah, the little spark on it. Matter
Uh-huh.
of fact, that happened with the skateboard too, right? When you're going up on the skateboard, when it
Oh
goes up
yes.
really like this, it sparks at the bottom if you watch it.
The friction causes, yeah, a spark.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm, mhm, mhm. We are very reactive people, and we use, even though part of it emotional, we use that energy. We use that energy, that negative energy, lots more than the positive energy. And to make my point really clear, the reason we have to keep saying, I want to be positive or I want to be around positive people is
Hmm.
because innately we know how many negative Nancy's are around, that we
Mm.
seek the positive people, the positive energy. Matter of fact, people make you feel bad, or they try. I'm out of that. But people make you feel bad when you're positive regularly, when your energy level is high regularly,
Hmm.
especially if you are around people who that's not how they roll.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That's the reason why I gotta say this piece. This is the reason why, as a side note, this is the reason why lots of time people say I have to let that friend go, or I can't hang around those people anymore. And
Hmm.
think about it, Terry. If you have somebody who drains your energy, and I
Mm.
didn't notice until it happened to me because I was an adult before I realized that that's what somebody can do to me. I had
I
this
I
friend,
had no idea people could do that.
and when I left her, I didn't notice. But after a while, when she called me, it was so hard to pick up the phone. And I
Mm.
said to myself, I shouldn't feel this way with a friend. Like, I love her. And if I didn't hear from her for a while, this was like, because she brought a lot of negative energy within us, and it was in the atmosphere. I couldn't figure out why. She's a God fearing woman. She went to church, she preached, she's a praying sensation, but she brought all this baggage with her. And some people, to just leave her alone, but I had to address it. So I had to tell her. It was a hard conversation, to
Mm.
say the least. Because we were friends for over 10 years. It was a hard conversation. I had to say to her, whenever we're in the same space together, there's a relief when you leave.
Ooh.
And I don't like it. That's hard to tell somebody.
Well, the book says keep a guard over your mouth. It says, that laughter is a merry medicine. So, when we don't bring those things to the table, and it also says we shall have what we say. So if we're constantly saying negative things, we're constantly calling in negative stuff.
Yep.
And then when it manifests, we're like, wow, how did that happen?
Yep. It's like telling somebody when they look at their budget. That's why debt, even though I speak on debt, I don't speak on debt a lot, because it really, I have found out, and this was for myself, that when I started going there, my only thought process was on my debt and how can I pay off my debt and when this debt was going to be paid off. And everything I do was about the debt. So anytime I made money, all got thrown to the debt,
Mm-hmm.
right? And even though it was paying it down, I wasn't happy over here. I wasn't getting everything happening. It was my student loan, right? And then I finally sat myself down and I said, Karen, you really need to figure this stuff out. And I sat down and said, so you have a student loan, but you're educated. That's why you're doing what you're doing at the time, because I had the job. I'm like, so why are you fussing yourself about it? So stop it. So I lined it up. I said, I'm working on my paying off my debt, and I'm still allowing the debt to control me. And I
Mm.
need to have the opposite. I need to pay the debt, but that shouldn't be just to my forefront. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be what I'm looking forward to. I want to buy a house. I got a nice car. Why am I only seeing the debt?
Mm-hmm.
Why am I
Mm.
only behaving like this is the only thing that matters?
And not enjoying the benefits of the education that it brought you.
Yes, I definitely wasn't.
And the other thing too is when we are focused on the negative, it's a distraction for developing the positive things in our life.
It
So,
is.
so
It
we
is.
have to refocus our attention
Yeah.
on what's working. Can we talk
Yeah.
about what's working, right, Yolanda? Yeah.
What is working?
You
You
know,
got
what's
up this
working,
morning,
Cecilia?
that's working. You can do your business, that's working. If you got three things done in your business today, you did well. You don't have to do six. You did three things. Are those three money things for your business? It better
Mm,
be. If it's not, they need to go on the side and you only need to do the first three money things. If the money things for you is writing content, then do it. If the money thing for you is reaching out to people to sell, then do it. If your money thing for you is getting on a podcast, then do it. Do not be lazy in the doing because those are the things going to do your business. Then you can chat with a friend, then you can scroll Facebook, then you can watch Instagram. But even if those are your avenues to bring in the people, you want to make sure you're doing strategically. So if today is the day that you sit down and you're going to batch, and let me just speak on batching. The minute you sit down to batch content and design, every crap is going to happen. If you have a kid, the kid's going to cry, pee, do whatever. If you have an aging parent, something's going to happen. And you yourself going to want to go to the
mhm.
washroom, have a drink, whatever.
Pop some
Don't do
popcorn.
it.
I'll watch a movie.
Yes. So you got to understand what the mind is going to do to you, and you have to be combative. You got to be proactive. You set out a list of things that you have experienced that has happened to you before when you set to do something, and then you have a rebuttal for it. So when it happens, even if it's in the family of the happening, because it's never the same, it might be in the family, in the happenings, okay?
Mhm.
Then you have a rebuttal for it right here. I will not let blah, blah, blah. And then you go
Distract
make
me.
your
Yes.
business doing it. This is a 90-day journey, people. And something like this happened to you, prepare yourself and buckle up. Not a 721-day story. This is a 90 days you're probably looking at in reversing that habit that was in you forever
Hmm.
because you're now working towards making money. And that is you understanding your mind, right? This is you understanding how your mind works. Everybody's minds work different. How your mind works and what you can do about it. I worked from home for years. You know, my husband is a guy who goes and work, so he doesn't understand the work from home. And I told him today, I said, every time you come in with your crap, it affects me. Like, don't do it, right? Don't do it. But saying it doesn't mean anything because then he still does it. But I have to sit down with my mind. I says, Caren, what are you going to accept? What are you going to let happen? And then I had to program my mind in what I'm not going to let. So if he comes to the door and he knocks on the door, he said, Karen, how are you doing? And he start in with anything. I said, is it has anything to do with the kids? Are you feeling well?
Is
No,
anybody, anybody bleeding?
you see what I mean? I said,
Yes.
when it's 5 o'clock, we can talk about it. You mean I have to wait a whole hour? Yes, you do. I'm not talking to you about it before 5. And he steams off really upset. But I couldn't allow anything before 5 because it's not business hours. It's my business hours. I couldn't allow it in.
And see, if you were not on site,
Thank you.
they wouldn't have access. I
Wouldn't have
get your
access.
point.
Yeah. And so people said to me and friends of mine, like we chatting, and they're like, well, just get an office outside and just do this. I said, no, I am not going and pay rent somewhere else just because I can't fix what needs to be done because it's going to be another thing. So I'm saying this is my home. This is my office area. I spend a lot of time fixing it nice, and I am not getting driven out of it. So here's what we're not going to do. And this is what's going to happen. Was it a battle? You bet it's an uphill battle. Probably took a whole year. I'm going to sit here and lie to you guys. Probably took a whole year. But
Mhm.
this is why I can still be in my office because I wasn't letting up. So whatever you know that you need to battle to get your mind, get your energy right so your money can flow, you better be fighting for it.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's review. I, I fight for your money. Oh my God. Well, you know, basically what we're saying is protect your space, right?
You
Protect
have
your mind space. Your okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Your mind, body, and soul, because everything's translated back into your finances. I
Mhm.
talk about money all the time, and I really want you to know physically, if I'm not feeling physically well, my money start dribbling down. But I don't notice that it's disappearing until it has disappeared. Money doesn't leave you right away. Money leaves you slowly. By the time you understand money has been leaving you, then your wallet starts feeling it. but it
Mhm.
left you before it physically left you. It left
Look,
you through your
Miss
mind,
Rita
it left
said,
you through your soul.
okay, she's ready to fight. That's right. Right. And we're talking about mentally. We're talking about mental battles here, guys. Not not physical stuff. We're talking mental battles that we don't even notice.
You don't even notice it. It's like when I first talked to you guys about leaving $20 in your wallet and understanding
Mhm.
about that $20, it's a mental thing because the first time you leave $20 in your wallet, if you never done it before, every single thing that you can think about, you could buy with a 20 bucks. And then when I was able to baffle that for myself, then my daughter needed $20. Then my son needed $20. Then my husband
Mhm.
needed to borrow $20. The minute I was able to settle my beat, everybody needed $20.
All
They
of a
didn't need it
sudden.
before, but they suddenly need 20 bucks. They ain't getting it because I get it.
Exactly $20. You know what I did notice though, Karen, when I started to keep that $20 in my purse, and what I did was my Francine signed it, so I would have the same $20.
Right.
Okay,
Yes.
when I reconciled in my mind that this was going to be in my wallet constantly,
Hmm.
I noticed that
Say again.
other money came to join it. They
It
came to join.
thank you. That's
They
what I
came to join the money
Yes.
club
It
because I got used to seeing money in there, and
Yeah.
I would be walking around with $200 or $300 in my
Yes.
wallet, and I was perfectly comfortable with that.
Yes.
Whereas
Because it was
before,
a magnet pulling it toward. I told you guys this on Fire Talk because I tested it out with myself.
remember,
I tested it out on my son, and
uh,
he was a teenager at the time. And I said, Paul, you can't take this money out. And he said, Mom, I don't believe in that stuff. And then within a month, he come back to me and says, Mom, I got $200 in my wallet. What did you do? I'm like, I didn't do anything. I was trying to explain to you. Once you put the 20 in and you keep a track and it adds up, and
because you're used to seeing money in there versus, oh, I'll just swipe my card.
yes, yes. And then you always have the money going out. And the rest of the
Yeah,
principles where once you start putting 20, you add it up, you get to a certain number, you take it out, you put it somewhere so it can make you some more money, and you keep doing the same thing over and over. You had the money. When you don't have that money, I don't care how much it is, even if you can't start with $20, you start with whatever you can so that this is really an exercise of your mind understanding that it's okay for you to have money.
exactly.
That's what it is.
And it's okay for it to live in your purse, ladies.
Yes.
Oh, we have got to recap because we're at the top of the 30
Yes,
minutes.
yes, yes, yes. Good.
Okay,
We
so
have to, Karen can get carried away, so we have to.
both of us can. Go ahead.
So today we talk about money and energy. We had a look at why the two go hand in hand, and I
Mm,
talked a bit about it. And we also talk about you understanding your mind, let your mind understand how this work, because we first have to understand it up here
mhm,
before we can do anything physical. We have to understand it. You prepare yourself in the morning to work out, and so you're prepared before you physically work out. You're going to work out. If you're the person that drinks a glass of water before you work out, here's the things you got to do, before you start working out. And you get to it, whether you're running, you walking, or you doing exercise like I do in front of the TV. You set
mhm.
your mind and you're going to do it. And you will do it. Initially, it's hard, but eventually, even if it's hard, you're committed to do it. And the same goes to money. You want to pay attention to whatever it is you say you want to do. And
Mm,
all
mm.
this year, the rest of the year, we're going to be talking about money. In December, we're going to be talking about planning for 2021. One number, I want you guys thinking from now, one number. So when December comes, we can know the number we want to make next year. And
Lovely.
everything that we need to do to work towards making that number. No more in the air, no more pie in the sky. Actually, this is what I'm going to do, and then I do it. And here's the results I'm doing it. And if I need to tweak, I tweak. Money and energy.
Well, the city says, OMG, keeping a 20 in my wallet, let it grow, let it multiply. Yes, exactly. Yeah, 'cause she says this. She loves it. Yep.
I'm so happy
Yeah,
to
and it
see
does work. I'm a witness. It does work. Coach, tell us where we can find you and how we can connect with you.
you
Tell us
can
about a
find
little
me
bit about your program.
everywhere. and profits in daily. I have my free membership where it's really about discovering yourself so you can do really great in business. And if it's not a business thing and you're looking after working better in your job, this is still good for you because you're still finding out about you. Next week, next week my new sites will be up, so I'll be able to send you there so you can go scroll through and see everything that
That's
is about to
beautiful.
land because I talk about planning. I actually sit down and plan. My year planning started last month, so it's going to be finished up next week. And I actually watch my goals. I could tell you guys, I watch my goals happen. What I planned for in 2018, in 2019, when 2020 hit, and I set out what I was going to do, I watched myself walk through it. And everything happened. We had Corona, everything is going on. But I keep saying to myself, Karen, do not deviate from the plan in spite of what's going on around you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you're not in control of what's happening around you. You're only in control of what's happening in front of you, and that's you.
Wow. Well, guys, you heard it from Coach Caren. You heard it here on Biz Chicks. Yes. So keep your mind on your money and your money on your mind. Uh, Coach, we are so blessed to have you here today. I just want to thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to say to you guys, we would love for you to share this out on your different platforms. Let people know about us. Ask them to like our YouTube channel, where you can find more tips and tools from experts like Coach Caren. In addition to that, if you're looking to join Biz Chicks, text Biz to 33777. We'd love to have you be a part of our community. Let your friends know. We'd love to have them in the community also, where we can help them grow a business that's fun to run. With that, we want to remind you that tomorrow is Thursday, so we'll be talking happy, healthy habits with Robin Shimizu and friends. And then on Friday, we'll be talking tech in English. Don't be scared. Come on in. The water's fine. On Friday with the Tech Divas. You know, Coach Caren is a tech diva. She's the one who told us all about StreamYard, which allows us to come to you on a multiple number of platforms. So, you need to pay attention to these people when they're talking to you. They know what you're talking about. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time. Have a
Don't forget to go to the front of your own line.
Don't forget, guys, to go to the front of your own line. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.